All right, so I did want to throw this, but like I did this thing. We did this thing over the weekend because recruiting and whatnot. You know how many 4 stars, 5 stars Kansas State have? I'll tell you, 0.
As soon as he asked a question, I don't know why I asked that.
0.
So a solid Z.
Okay. Assume Oklahoma has 100 dudes, on the team, right? On rosters. 50 of them are 4 and 5 stars. That's the count. That's the count. 50 of them are blue chippers. Okay, they lost Kansas State. You look at Mississippi State and LSU. Mississippi State has half as many 4 and 5 stars as LSU. 19 to 41. And they lost by 10. And both of these teams lost at home to these squads. Mississippi State at Tiger Stadium, not Death Valley. That's in Clemson. And Oklahoma at what was once a fortress. What was once the place where you don't come in and expect to win. You write L on the calendar. That's just what it is. And Kansas State not only went in there and got a W, Skylar Thompson is 2-0 as a starting quarterback against Oklahoma the last 2 years. All right. To which I would ask this, and I think I have an answer to this. And I'm going to trot it out to you. The question I asked myself was, what would Chris Kleiman or Mike Leach do with the same sort of assets that Oklahoma or LSU have? Chris Kleiman would probably run Nick Saban's Alabama offense and defense from 2009. Because he could do it at North Dakota State. It's kind of what he wants to do at Kansas State. They want to be fundamentally sound, and they want to run a basic offense. One, because they want to be better at what they're doing than what you're doing. But two, because they don't like casuals. They don't like people that, show up to watch a game or a couple of games or see ranked and say, okay, I'll flip to this. No. They are for football nerds, which is to say, no, I want to run the ball and play defense because putting the ball in the air, bad things can happen. Like Nick Saban went on a 10-minute rant at a press conference about how quarterbacks today don't know how to take a snap from under center. And then he did another 10-minute rant about how you can get far in coaching now just from your knowledge of computers, but you can't tell me how to take a snap from under center. That's who these dudes are. Meanwhile, Mike Leach is going, nah, I think we're going to be 8-5, 9-3 in good years, maybe 10-2, but don't expect us to actually win nothing. Like, no, that's not what I do. I'm glad they want to be here. I'm glad they want to play ball here, but I think Mike Leach is going to be Mike Leach, or his teams are going to be Mike Leach forever, no matter what the talent looks like. And yet he took this job at Mississippi State because of the recruiting area. He said, look, I looked at that region, look at the Delta, you look at the players come out of the Delta, I can get some of them, we're going to be really good. And I'm going, you don't believe that. You don't believe that. You don't believe that because you Mike Leach. You're going to throw the ball 60 times for 623 yards. You're going to run the ball 14 times for 10 yards. Like, what makes you think? And yet, dude would tell you, look, I think that better talent yields better results. Do you think that I'm right about Chris Kleiman and Mike Leach?
I'm not so much sure about. Well, I'm assuming that you had Alabama side talent. Like, that's the style of football that you should play. Like, yes, Chris Kleiman absolutely would be one of those people. Like, yep, I'm trying to average 7 yards of carry on the ground and make life extremely frustrating for the opposing team's offense. Not a game breaking defense. Just that you make any mistake, it's coming back to me. I'm going to gouge you another time for 7 yards of carry for the next 15 minutes. I think with Mike Leach, like he absolutely doesn't care what kind of recruits he gets. Like he absolutely wants to have people that can run his system, but you give him the toys at the bottom of a toy box, he's still gonna throw up 500, 600 yards a game. His system is just one of those, like, basically what Mike Leach needs at quarterback is somebody who's not a coward.
Oh man, yes. Yeah, but all right, let me ask this. How many cowards do we know about playing quarterback?
I mean, if you listen to Mike Leach today, he has a whole bunch. Just a whole bunch. Even the people that he has starting, it's like, I don't understand why you won't just throw the ball.
Oh my God. I've told you that Connor Halliday story, right?
Yep.
Okay. I want to tell it again for the folks that haven't listened. Connor Halliday is waiting on the play call from Mike Leach, and he's got the formation, and he's waiting on the play out of the formation. And he keeps running his fingers over again, and Mike Leach is looking at him like, I sent you to play. And the shot clock, the play clock's running down. And he calls timeout, and Mike Leach lost his mind, going, what the hell are you doing using a timeout? You had the play. It's like, you sent me a formation, you didn't send me to play. To which Mike Leach said, you're the damn quarterback. You see it. Call a damn play. Like, do I need to do everything for you? Which is precisely what most coaches think that they need to do. So, like, the first time I told Ron that story, he was like, wow, to be that powerful in that moment. And yet, to your point, there seem to be a bunch of dudes that just don't want the power. They want to be remote controls. The thing that appealed to me about being a quarterback is to do it like Aaron Rodgers does it, which is to say, no, give me 2 plays if that's what you want to do, or just give me a formation, but I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it. I'm damn sure going to check it. I'm going to move dudes around. Like, you know how we play Madden in NCAA? We would go in with a play. That wasn't the play we were running. Nah, man, hot route here, hot right there. Nah, I like a drag here. I like an out here. Yeah, I want to change protection too. Yeah, all right, cool. Now I'm going to run it. Like, that's what you do. So when I ask that question, I'm also asking with that conceit of a bunch of dudes that came up, making adjustments at the line of scrimmage on general principle, because that's what you do in Madden. So that's what I mean when I ask, how many cowards play quarterback now? Like, if you are not the kind of dude that wants to be a control freak, why would you want to play quarterback?
I think that's just how you brought up. Like, you think that I want to be somebody that has glory, and then you realize that, oh no, I might have to be looked to make a big play. I might be looked to inspire a team, like to be a leader. As much as like that makes me gag, like, you know, to throw back to Spencer Rattler, like I don't know anybody was looking at him,
nah, man,
and feeling real confident about their chances.
You needed a field general, Ron. That's what you needed. You needed a field general.
I want the quarterback equivalent of Chris Paul. Old Chris Paul. And Jimmy Butler. That's what I want. I want a Jimmy Butler I'm sorry, everybody. Like, basketball is where I live.
No, to hell with that. Basketball is where I live, too. Because Big Face Coffee is a mood. And you mentioned 2 dudes that I love, but not for their games. Like, Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer. We know that. But he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer if it was harder to get into, Springfield. It's not. But if it were, he'd be in. But when you bring up those 2 dudes, I think about, how are those guys on defense, right? Chris Paul is a tattletale and a narc, which is kind of the same thing, but not really. It just depends on where you were raised.
He's a rulebook lawyer as well.
Man, right? So, like, on the one hand, I would love to see a quarterback who's like, yo, ref, for real? You just gonna let him hit me like that? When, dude patting him on the butt on the way back to the huddle, talk about, good play. And then Big Face Coffee's energy the whole time is, no, I'm the best that's ever done this. Ever. Yo, Jimmy, you are 0 for 11, and not in the Kobe way. Your shot is funky. It looks bad. Yeah, but did you see my face when I took it? I knew it was going in, but it didn't, dude. And yet they ride that energy straight into these NBA finals. As Jimmy Butler, I can't imagine Jimmy Butler going for 40. Can you imagine Jimmy Butler going for 40?
Absolutely, I can imagine Jimmy Butler going for 40. But
sure,
I don't think that you can imagine him having like a 40-point per game season. Like, that's never going to happen.
Okay,
if you listen, like as like
27-7,
maybe 2023.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, the reason that those 2 dudes are inspired to me as quarterbacks is because they're not going to be the best players.
Well, I mean, saying like football is played more than just in the game. So that you got somebody like, say, Jimmy Butler or Chris Paul at quarterback, then to listen to Jimmy Butler say, I'm not the tallest person. I'm not the fastest. I don't got the best handle. My shot's kind of broke. Like, all I know how to do is work out and hustle. And I'll tell you what, like, I don't have all the gifts, but like nothing stopped me from having good footwork. Nothing stopping me from knowing my fundamentals on defense. Nothing saying that I can't cut when I don't need when I should be cutting. Like, it's that whole thing across the field. Like, if you have a quarterback like that, it's like, I know that you're not, I know that you don't have hands or like coordination like Fitzgerald. I know you're not a freak like Randy Moss, but there's nothing saying that you can't hit this route and hit your marks and always be at the right depth and always be lined up when I'm ready and know what this eye contact when I throw it to you means. Nothing's stopping you from doing that.